And so here we are at the magnificent Gold Coast in Queensland, a spectacular backdrop along the coastline and a spectacular championship offshore. Yes, the Acme Fiberglass Supplies Australian Offshore Powerboat Championship really turning it on, and a huge crowd here at the Gold Coast. Before we get into the action today, let's look at the rounds that have made up the championship so far. Round 1 kicked off on Australia Day weekend with one of the largest fields taken to the water at Hobson's Bay in Victoria. A post-race penalty cost Australian champ Bill Barry Cotter and his partner Steve Jellick an opening round win. Class 3 4-litre contenders Hog's Breath finished first in their class, whilst Matt Humphrey and Wayne Jones took the Class 3 6-litre honours aboard their boat Navman. In front of a crowd of thousands, round 2 of the series saw newly formed Maritimo duo Ross Willerton and Luke Derman secure their second win at the Geelong Classic. Navman's team was stoked with their boat's performance and took out the Class 3 6-litre title. The Class 3 4-litre title saw Quasi Racing entry Jim Harris and Adam Nichols handed a penalty after missing a marker point, and Hog's Breath Racing took out the win again ahead of Jackson's Marine. Spectacular scenes at round 3 saw Acme Racing brothers Steve and Andrew Searle flip their Class 1 vessel whilst leading the field during lap 3 of the Newcastle Challenge. Father and son combo Bill and Tom Barry Cotter recorded a landmark victory in what was Tom's first ever race in an offshore powerboat. Local team Red Bellies were a dominant force in the Class 3 6-litre and came away with the victory over Red Australia Racing. An impressive display at Botany Bay for round 4 saw a tit and tat battle for first position, with the lead changing 4 times between Simrad and AFT Maritimo. But with their foot down, Simrad outpowered AFT to notch up their third win and extend their lead to 350 points with just 2 races remaining. Fronting the round with 2 brand new Mercury 200XS engines saw Quasi put some pressure on Hog's Breath, but they were no match for the duo of Paul Folds and Paul Gibbs, who raced to the checkered flag for their 4th round win. Mooloolaba, Queensland hosted an entertaining battle for round 5 between Advantage Marine and defending champs Thicon in the National A class. Advantage Marine's Don McClymont and Nick Purvis managed to pull away to make it 5 wins and snatch the title from Thicon. Simrad pairing of Ross Willerton and Luke Derman took an unassailable series lead going into round 6, wrapping up the 2006 championship with still 1 round to go. Don McClymont has had a blast in season 2006, taking out the National A class title.
We've had a great year with Anthony and David from Thicon. We've had some really good racing, and yeah, touch wood, we've come out on top. The conditions, certainly have suited us at every round this year. We've been able to run very hard. Andy as well at Newcastle gave us a good run when it was rough. So yeah, it's been good. It's been a really good year.
Paul Gibbs is no stranger to winning championships, taking out the Class 3 4-litre title in 2006.
4 wins of the Australian Championship in a row, and we've really just got to finish today to make things happy, but we still want to win.
Probably this year I've enjoyed it the most. I think I've always wanted to run a sprint car, and I think this is the closest I could ever get to one. The boat was designed to have 1,000 horsepower. We've put 2,000 in it. Hard to decide whether it's a plane or a boat, but really keeps your wits about you, and it's been a lot of fun.
The lightning duo of Ross Willerton and Luke Derman have powered ahead to take out the prestigious Class 1 title this year.
We've had a good season. We've had a little bit of luck go our way, but Luke and I are a good pairing. Luke's done a wonderful job. It's his rookie season. But yeah, and we've had a good season.
Boats are heading out to the water right now, but earlier we spoke to some of the guys about how they'll tackle these almost perfect weather conditions.
Conditions this week are probably the calmest we've had in the Gold Coast for a long, long time. It probably doesn't quite suit our boat. Being a monohull, we'd like it a little bit rougher, and we can sort of cut through the waves, and it tends to slow down the catamarans. But we'll be out there giving a good shot.
Well, I've actually just snuck out the front to have a look, Roscoe, and it's picture postcard stuff out there. Not as flat as it looks, but it'll be a very fast race today. There's very little swell, about 1 metre, no chop, and absolutely perfect conditions for the Gold Coast anyway.
There's enough swell there to still get a little bit of air and catch unawares, so we've just got to be wary of that because we are doing higher speeds. But I don't think, listen, this boat's fantastic. It flies flat, it rides flat, a little bit flat.
Too flat, yeah. The problem we're going to have, of course, is the air between. When your props come out of the water, you lose drive. Our main concern is to keep driving because we're running reasonably heavy, so we're hoping it chops up a little rougher.
Well, the deep blue sea outside the Gold Coast. What a spectacular backdrop for round 6 of the Acme Fiberglass Supply Australian Offshore Powerboat Championship. And Grant Boyd, we know that Willetton and Dermot have wrapped up the championship effectively here today. Class 3 6-litre though, what a battle there.
Yes, certainly is. Look at Sanders and Craven doing a great job with 2,175 points and right back through to A-Class. Two things are very interesting there.
McClymont and Purvis having a great run there as well. And Class 3 4-litre, the unstoppable Hog's Breath. Man, they've been tough. Let's take a look now as they line them up. Now, Willetton and Dermot not starting today. Troubles with turbochargers, it seems.
Yeah, that's hugely disappointing. They were looking forward to getting out there in the sunshine and showing their wares, but it's not going to happen. National A-Class, McClymont and Purvis sitting up there too.
Well, we're getting set for a start here. Magnificent conditions for racing. In fact, almost perfect. Have we raced in perfect conditions before?
It's been a while, hasn't it? It really has.
Here we go, folks. Starting to cut up. And look at that backdrop. Could it be a more spectacular backdrop if we tried? Probably not. On board with AFT Maritimo, Peter Muddy McGrath and Steve Jellick. Look at the backwash.
Yeah, pouring out the back there gives you an idea of the horsepower that these boats are able to generate. Waiting for the flag to drop. There it goes. We are away and racing on the Gold Coast.
A couple of new boats today, Bordeaux, too. We've got a few new players, which is always a good thing. I love the name, Rocks Off.
Danger zones out there, and I think that might say it all too.
Absolutely. Just look at the speed as they pick it up now. Our onboard camera's giving us great pictures. Look at the speed here.
They are flying. Thankfully, we've got nice, smooth conditions. You can see how glassy the water is. Oh, and AFT Maritimo is charging at the moment.
We might see the guys at absolutely full peg today. We've never seen that before in the championship. Conditions look conducive to top speed today.
Certainly do. You can see the helicopter doing everything it can to keep up with the rest of the boats, but they are charging out there at the moment.
How competitive is Class 3 4-litre National A and Class 3 6-litre? Look at the guys absolutely going for it. The red bellies as on the jet ski. What category is that?
I'm just looking at the boys bouncing up and down. We were saying the nice smooth conditions out there. Looking at some of those shots, you wouldn't think so. And speaking about numbers in these classes, don't forget next year a new production class is coming on board. Already they've taken entries down. Only apparently about 4 or 5 more spots left for this production class next year, and it should be an absolute ripper and a cheap way of doing this sport as well.
Well, a far more effective way and far more cost-effective way too. Champ Car are addressing their rising costs of racing. Supercars are doing the same thing. So are these guys. Clever thinking, bringing a new category in for next year.
AFT Maritimo jumping up out of the water there. So even though we've got calm conditions, they're still getting plenty of air underneath the hull.
Oh, you can just see every now and again the big boof. Big, huge wave comes out of it. It's another good shot of it right there. Here's the replay as you picked it, Bodo. The AFT Maritimo, the Simrad entry.
Oh, look at the bow. It wanted to go skywards, didn't it?
And by the time you realise it's happened, it's too late because it's gone.
Yeah, well, apparently the key to it is you can't get out of the gas. Otherwise, you do cause yourself issues. You've got to stay on it and just adjust your trim. Well, you've got to be brave to do that.
Look at the spectator fleet in the middle of the course. Bill and Tom Barry-Cotter, father and son combination. You know, I think Bill Barry-Cotter's achieved a lot of things in an aqua sense, both here and internationally, Bordeaux, but I doubt there's been many more times he's been more proud than to have his boy alongside him.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean B-O-Y, not B-U-O-Y.
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about in any form of motorsport. If you can go out and have fun and the family are involved too, then all credit to you, and they certainly do enjoy their motorsport.
Does he want another son? I'm just putting my hand up if he needs one. Here they come back towards this very tight left-hander.
Putting yourself up for adoption, eh?
Absolutely. I'm not even an orphan. Here we go. Back now we turn, and the magnificent Maritimo craft. Look at the water action out the back. Here's a great replay from the air now. And you can see Bill and Tom Barry-Cotter, they're about to tack in extremely quickly.
It was a good pass too. They were sitting almost neck and neck as they made their way down the back straight, and it was a good opportunity there to get a bit of clear air and move out in front.
Well, look at the guys turning in now, having to push very hard indeed. Starting to slow a bit there is Morgan Steele. If anybody has, I think, the chance to win a big round, it's got to be these guys. Their fortune has to turn around eventually. Man, you've just... an A for perseverance.
Yeah, just want problems for AFT Maritimo. It has slowed out on the circuit. We were watching it a few moments ago, charging along. but now they're sitting absolutely stranded out there on the course.
This is when you go past in your National A class and go, because you roll past the $1 million machine. Look at Acme Racing. Doesn't the boat look fantastic with the new livery?
And what about the Searles as a family of keen competitors?
The Earl of Searle, Steve.
I'm sure they compete just getting into car park spots out there.
I'm sure you're right. Of course, Andrew has a beautiful door slammer as well, a custom line door slammer, so he loves going fast. That's a great looking craft too. The Red Bellies, one of the most unique and easy to spot teams in the game. I think that might have been Navman chasing hard as well.
Yes, they are pushing hard out there at the moment too.
Look
That's
how
great
close
to see.
the spectator craft get to the course.
Yeah, look at the quality of spectator craft too. I think
they're
that's
probably all
biggest thing.
Maritimos. That's probably why. Here they come. This is a good little battle breaking out right here. Don't forget Class 3 4-litre big dogs, Hog's Breath. Those guys are unstoppable. And there's a couple of craft out there that look like Hog's Breath. This is one of them. There is the Smorgon Steel entry of Tony Lowe and Simon Isherwood. Go, Tony. Go, Simon.
Well, last time we saw them, I thought they'd just bogged down a little bit in the turn. I was wondering if there was going to be yet another issue with Smorgon Steel, but watching them down the straight at the moment, they are charging. The boat's sitting very well. It's handling the little chop out there. It's not moving around too much, and they're keeping their forward momentum going. Hey, how's your neck?
Yeah, Thykon and Anthony Defina and David Slicer here. This guy's really battling it out for the championship. It's come right down to the wire. These guys always run hard. Anthony Defina, great looking shot. The very different situation where the passenger is actually behind the driver. Here's a new boat for us, Danger Zone. Cue the music. Kenny Loggins soundtrack. Peter Byhon and Simpson out there in Danger Zone.
And it's good to see. Perhaps we'll see them in the class next year and pushing very, very hard. And at the moment, they're out there and doing a fairly good job for newcomers.
Oh, absolutely. They're getting a fair bit of air as well. You think the conditions are fairly flat, but what if you get some air underneath? Meanwhile, not all the Maritimo craft are standing still today.
Oh, no, this one is charging and pushing very, very hard at the moment.
Yes, Bill Barry Cotter and his son Tom charging hard here at the Gold Coast.
Look at it. It just looks like an absolute weapon.
It looks like several $1 million going very fast. Folds and Gibbs in Hog's Breath. These guys are just very, very good at what they do. You know, I think this category has enormous potential. That was big. I'm sure we'll get another look at that.
That was very close to the point of absolutely no return.
And take a look at the name. How about they try it? Easy does it.
Yeah, right.
Well, let's have a look at the replay here. Look at the air that thing just got there, and that's big.
It was very close to going over, and in my opinion anyway, if a little bit more wind underneath that boat, and they would have been in all sorts of trouble.
Yes, very, very frightening. Just goes to show no matter how perfect, unquote, its conditions are, you can be looking at the bottom of the ocean very quick smart.
Gives you an idea how brave they are too, let's be honest.
This category, they're doing it again. Hog's Breath Cafe. Got to say, here's the replay on it right now. Oh, nice. The boat perfectly weighted just then.
And it flies well too, and that's an important thing. You could see it wasn't moving around too much at all.
Quasi, they've been a bit of a force to be reckoned with since they've brought in the new engines. They're doing very well. Jim Harris and Adam Nichols charging hard here today at the Gold Coast for the final round of the Acme Fiberglass Offshore Powerboat Series. One of the main competitors in the National A class is Anthony Defina in Thykon. We caught up with him earlier to help explain the category.
A National A boat's essentially a step up from a normal ski boat or pleasure boat. It's got a few more things in it. It might have ballast tanks, it might have trim tabs. Generally they're custom built for racing, but they're not a lot different from a ski boat.
If you want to go racing in the Class 3 4-litre section, naturally there are specifications that you have to work inside to make sure you can compete in the category.
Class 3 4-litre boat consists of a 25-foot cat, or could be mono as well. Must have 400 horsepower and can be with 2-litre engines or 400 horsepower and 2.5. But the 2.5 category boats, they run at 1,600 kilos, where we run at 1,250 kilos to allow for the extra capacity.
Well, we're charging hard right now. We're getting towards the business end of this race. Round 6 of the Acme Fiberglass Supplies Australian Offshore Powerboat Championship. And have a look at this father and son combo ploughing the ocean here at the Gold Coast.
The thing I love about these boats, and I say this with the greatest respect, is they are like a block of flats, aren't they? They are absolutely massive. The speeds they get out of them, the manoeuvrability is phenomenal.
An aerodynamic block of flats, because the way they cut through the water and through the air, look at that.
Absolutely love them.
Like a dart. You can man. You can see why Bill...
Smorgon Steel.
No.
You could not believe this in a month of Sundays. These guys need to make their way up into the Tibetan mountains and realign their karma, because it is absolutely broken.
You think they've even got some karma? That's just not even right. Acme Racing Fiberglass Supplies entry of Stephen Andrew Searle charging on with the new red livery, but your heart just bleeds for Tony Lowe and Simon Isherwood as disaster strikes the Smorgon Steelcraft.
Incredible, isn't it? You'd just like to see them do well. Only one finish this season. That was back in round 3, where they finished 4th. It's been a tough year for these guys.
And you can see now just checking inside the hatch there to make sure everything's okay. How about this little battle going on?
Make sure the Exelignite's got a fire.
Absolutely. Well, the chopper's hanging right over the top of this great little battle breaking out here. Look at this Quasi right in the middle of it. Chopper sideways around the corner. How about the work of the chopper?
Struggling to keep up, isn't it? Let's be honest. Quasi doing a great job at the moment, handling these conditions, bouncing across the top of the water. Just digs in a little bit, but look at that Hog's Breath coming up right behind, starting to apply some pressure.
Not very often we see that happening. Navman having a good run here today. Humphreys and Purton, by the looks of things, doing a pretty good job there in Navman.
Yeah, Wayne Jones used to be a member of that team, but he's been a little bit busy with his motorsport duties of a 4-wheel kind. Reports are that we may see him in the ranks of a V8 supercar in the not-too-distant future. Don't know if he knows about that, but that's the mail I've got anyway.
Well, these are the V8 supercars of the deep. There's no doubt about that, as we see the guys charging hard. And the chopper, as always, struggling to keep up. How about these guys? They would have fun at a tax convention, these two. The Red Bellies racing team, Colin Craven and Bruce Sanders.
An awesome-looking boat, too. Great livery on that machine. Shows you the speed, and at the moment, it's using that speed to its absolute fullest.
Charging hard. The boat seems pretty settled in the water. Seems like it's tracking nicely.
Yeah, I mean, it's riding these conditions. We see it bounce out of the water a couple of times just as it hits a little bit of swell out there, but it's handling that air. It's not moving from side to side, and it's not losing too much momentum.
Here's Red Australia Racing. Jason Ryder and Stephen King, a fantastic looking craft. Looks like something out of the movie Batman, doesn't it? The big Komatsu racing down the side.
They've got good speed at the moment as well. It's been a great little dice in this class.
Look at
it
the
really
shape
has.
Of it. It's gnarly, isn't it? Like a big Spider-Man kind of deal the closer you look at it. That's Batman. But anyways, charging hard. Now, video easy. Easy does it.
Easy does it. Yeah, we've seen that before, haven't we?
They don't take any notice of that. Here they come. This is a good passing opportunity right now.
Yeah, snuck up the inside. Does Easy does it. And let's see if they can hold it down to the next buoy.
Can you do a late apex in water? We're about to see Hog's Breath try it anyway.
We'll see them get a bit of air as they cut back in towards the swell, but they've picked up that spot. Trying to hold it, that's going to be the hard task.
How even are these two? They're absolutely to the floor and really putting on a great battle. This is an excellent result for Graham Fraser and Ian Harris. Ian spoke to us earlier about the Class 3 4-litre category and how good it is. And these guys having a bonza day out on the ocean. Don't let up, though.
No, not by a long shot. Look at this, and I think you'll find on the outside they've just got a little bit more speed. There was...
Oh,
this.
Check your mirrors.
Maritimo straight through the centre. Well, we're talking about more speed. There's a classic example.
It's a bit like a couple of salmon swimming along, and all of a sudden the shark goes through the middle, isn't it? The Red Bellies craft chasing hard. Sanders and Craven, they've had a very consistent championship, particularly in the last 50% of it. And they run very hard here. Nose of the boat out of the water a couple of times, but nothing to worry about. Props still buried in the blue stuff and doing the job.
Yeah, the worst result for Red Bellies across the season was the first 2 rounds where they could only manage to finish second. The rest has just been a clean sweep. A great result for them.
So it's been a great year for them, no doubt about that. The Class 3 6-litre dudes just smoking them. We take a look at 2 of the most casual customers in the game, Paul Folds and Paul Gibbs. These blokes, they get on pretty good too. It's almost like a Sunday barbie for these guys. They race hard, but they treat it very casually as well.
Yeah, well, you can do that when you've won the first 5 rounds back to back.
Yeah.
This is going to be an interesting weekend for them to see if they can make it a clean sweep of the entire season.
Just having a look at some of the notes for that magnificent new production class boat next year. Under 50 grand gets you basically the whole shooting match. So that's a massive saving for some of the costs.
Oh, absolutely. But don't forget, it's a versatile boat too. It's still, you know, for all intensive purposes, a ski boat. So it's not just about racing in this class. Speaking of which, have a go at that.
Horsepower will come from the Haynes Group, the Australian distributors of Suzuki Outboards and Acme Fiberglass. The whole material and manufacture will come from the Searle boys through their company. So that's an exciting development for the series. We'll keep our eye on that for next year. Wow, see that then?
Yeah, Hogsbreath getting a little bit of air there, but the right-hand constant started to dip down. It didn't quite take that air as well as it has been throughout this race, so that obviously would be a concern.
I love it when you get all nautical on me.
Yeah.
Sponsored and all that kind of stuff. Well, charging hard is danger zone too. They've done a great job today to be still upright and charging hard.
And you can see they work very, very hard in these boats. They're not as stable as the boats out front because they're that mono hull. Oh. And wow, they get some serious air too. Oh!
Did you see that? Grumpy mongrel. It's not over yet. Like an inflatable hull ride for them at the moment. And did you see Maritimo? This is a big ride. And how deceiving was that?
They're drowned if they get into the wash of that machine.
1 lap to go. Grumpy mongrel, Purple Heart.
Yeah,
that's all I can say. Heroics beyond the call of duty. Look at that!
Oh.
You know when you see caravans get all squirrely on the highway when a semi goes past? That's what that was like. That's massive. I thought they're going to crash into the yacht here, and then woo! Right through the front of the picture goes Maritimo.
How brave is the skipper on the yacht? You wait till this big boat comes thundering past.
Digging, turn. We need to turn. Turn left now. Choo! Late tacking. That's the term for that. Rocks Off. What a great name for a craft. Alan Quinn and Ian Purden. I think we've seen this boat before with a different livery. I might be incorrect there.
It's an interesting looking machine, isn't it? They're having a good old chat out there too.
Looks like they're saying, come on fellas, let's go for it a little bit harder. Rocks Off. Great name for a boat. We're turning back now towards the checkers. The final lap on a magnificent day at the Gold Coast. Round 6 of the Acme Fiberglass Supplies Australian Offshore Powerboat Championship on a day where the series leaders failed to get out of the line with turbocharger issues. Simrad Maritimo in trouble. AFT Maritimo with throttle linkage failure, but not Maritimo Australia 1. They're rocking.
Yeah, this brings the championship points, the final points, right down to 50 points between the two. There's the checkered flag about to come out for Maritimo. Bill and Tom Barry-Cotter about to receive the honours and take their second round win of the season.
Another great day for the Barry-Cotter family, and well done indeed. They charge hard. Thicon just ahead of them. Look at the unbelievable water displacement of this craft as it comes up on Thicon.
It's incredible, isn't it?
And when it goes past, it must be like a cyclone going by. Great stuff from Bill Barry-Cotter and Tom. They will do the job. And it's been a storming run. There goes Thicon just in there as well. Gee, that boat sitting beautifully in the water. Certainly Class 1 honours will go their way here at the Gold Coast. Battling hard in the other categories. That'll be interesting to see who ends up where when we get the final wash-up of that.
How could you not want to race that machine?
Oh, there's the checkers. Somewhere back in the distance. It just eats the water, this thing, doesn't it? What a great craft. Bill and Tom Barry-Cotter getting the win over the Searle boys. They're the only two craft to finish in Class 1 here today. Sanders and Craven, surprise, surprise, take out Class 3 6-litre. Good job. Harris and Fraser knock them off in Class 3 4-litre. McClymont and Purvis get it in National A. Awesome stuff, and there are the points, as you said, Bordeaux. Only 50 in it.
Yeah, came right. Well, it didn't come down to the wire, but it was a nice way to end the season. Sanders and Craven on top of Class 3 as well, and Class A, McClymont and Purvis out in front.
Was a good run today, but the others had a bit of bad luck. But even if they had have been there, I think we had them easier today. So we're very happy with the way the boat was set up.
Well, we knew we had to finish to win the Australian Championship today. We didn't quite have the points after last week, so we knew we had to finish. So they just kept a little bit there, and unfortunately a couple of the other boats in our class didn't quite make it, so they had a few problems and weren't full steam. So the boys were able to sort of back off a little bit and conserve the motors, which have only been on for 4 races, so it's nice to finish with everything in one piece.
Yeah, well, no, we pushed Paul and Cozzy all the way today, and the boat hung in really well, so a real credit to the team and Graham as well. It's a good race.
The boat got very high a couple of times out there, Graham. That would have been a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was. We had, I think, 2 moments in the whole race, which is pretty good, really. One was with the helicopter above us, and it caused us a little bit of turbulence, so that made it a bit hard. But, yeah, we learned a lot today, and I think we got better as the race went on, so that was good.
Yeah, we had a great day today, Ross. I really wanted to go out and prove a point today, and, the boat performed faultlessly, absolutely faultlessly. So I'm very happy, yeah.